all in the bitch. Shut the fuck up. Tell your best friend. Shut the fuck up. Hey, the bitch. Shut the fuck up. Tell your best friend. Shut the fuck up. Hey, you wanna love it when you talk, baby.
Messi, you my porn show shorty.
You ain't like a little me, I wanna fuck you. You the fuck kill me, I wanna touch you. You want me drunk up in on some cute shoes.
You wanna be the man you can vent to. What up, Andropolis Nation? I'm Josh Lee. I'll be your host today, as always. And we have rebranded the show. It is now called Stacking Doesn't Matter. Best Ball Mania 4 draft show. Steven is in the chat again. What's up, Steven? How you doing today? Steven? Yeah, this is gonna be a fun one, guys. Since this is like actually technically the first inaugural show or whatever, I'm just gonna go over the data that I presented yesterday, and just show you why stacking doesn't matter. I'm gonna show it once again. Matherin for MVP. What's up, my man? How you doing today? And I'm going to show you guys exactly why stacking doesn't matter. I know it's a wild take. Stacking doesn't matter. What does that mean? I thought everybody in best ball says you have to stack. No. That is not true at all. While it does help to optimize your lineups to try to win week 17 by stacking maybe one or two players, people are taking it way overboard. So we're just going to first show you. We're going to show you this nice and pretty chart one more time. For all you folks that were on the stream yesterday, I showed it to you guys, but we're going to go over it one more time. The playoff advance rate by team stack, no matter how many stacks you have on your team, it doesn't really matter. Your chances, your odds of getting to the playoffs, it's very marginal. Remember, the completely at random expectation of just like people just like following ADP and just drafting players, it's 16.6%. You had there's like a few that maybe have a 1.2% over expectation sort of advantage, but no, that's not how you should be doing this. Steven said Pat had stacks though on his teams last year. Yes, that is very true. But that's being a little bit results oriented because we have to remember a few things with Pat's team. I even dissected Pat's team further on in my best ball data bowl submission. This is Pat's team right here. He had 4 team stacks, and he had a lot of game stacks. But we have to remember there was something that happened in week 17 last year that was unprecedented. They completely just canceled the Bengals and the Bills week 17 game. Right? I guess they didn't cancel it, but they were only allowed to play a quarter, and they just left it final. What happens? Does Pat Kerrane's team win Best Ball Mania 3 if that Bengals Bills game gets to play throughout through the whole game? I am not 100% sure. So we're being a little bit results oriented because Pat Kerrane's team had 4 team stacks and was very correlated. While it does help, I don't think it's the end all be all, and it shouldn't be the number one priority for our teams. So I'm really curious so like I basically dissected it. I'm going to post this entire Jupyter notebook. This is going to be my submission in the Best Ball Data Bowl. So you guys can go ahead and dissect it, like tear my analysis down, what have you. But my thing on this show, the big thing is going to be draft good players. That is it. Just draft good players. That's what matters in fantasy football. Justin Jefferson last year saw a finals advance rate 400% over expectation. 400%. What are you asking, Steven, with the number one is ADP? My number one priority is drafting good players. ADP doesn't matter. Here, let me go ahead and show you, Steven, what ADP value shows us. I mean, yes, the market is generally good at knowing like when you should be taking certain players. So ADP value doesn't mean anything. The average ADP value of a Best Ball Mania 3 playoff team last year was 1. If you see like the teams that scored the highest had 0 ADP value. It's centered around that 0 mark because people are generally like players generally go in the same range of every single draft. That's why it's an average draft position. It's an average across all of these drafts. And you shouldn't stray too far one side or the other. Don't massively reach on a player. I guess you can, like if some guy just completely falls in ADP value, like maybe you should take him. But if you don't think it's a good player, if we don't think it's a good player, you shouldn't be taking them no matter how far they fall. So with this information in our pocket, let's go ahead and jump into another best ball draft. Best Ball Mania 4. We're trying to win. We're trying to win this shit. We're waiting on 9 people. So if anybody on the stream wants to hop in that room, come on down. Try to draft against me. But I'm going to dive into Pat Crane's team a little bit more, just because that seems to be a big driver in why the best ball community views stacking and game stacking is so important, was because of what Pat Crane was able to do last year. And he did have 4 team stacks. He had a lot of game stacks. He had a lot of correlation, I know. So most people see this team and instantly take away that they should build in as many stacks as possible. Mathurin's going to hop in the draft. Let's go. But I see this team, and I saw just genius selections across the board. Jalen Waddle in the 4th. Chef's kiss, phenomenal. Tyler Lockett in the 9th. Incredible. Ramondre Stevenson as his 10th pick. Beautiful. Daniel Jones in the 14th. Genius. Tyquan Thornton has his 18th round pick. Phenomenal. I mean, these are guys who contributed to his roster, contributed to his week 18 point totals. So it's incredible what he was able to do with his team last year. And it kind of goes to show that it's okay to take huge swings and misses. Hunter Renfrow, he was a 0 all year. That is a 7th round pick that's just a 0 in your lineup every single week. We're waiting on 2 people. Sony Michel, 0 points all of last year. Mike Gesicki, very low point totals all of last year. So DJ Moore did not live up to his third round draft capital. So like there are guys that he did miss on, but the most important ones that he didn't miss on was his 1st round pick, Austin Eckler. Let's go ahead and go up here and look at this right here. Austin Eckler, he had a playoff advance rate over expectation. Austin Eckler had a finals advance rate over expectation. Those are the types of guys that you're going to want to get. Okay, so I'm getting the 12th spot in this draft. It's going to be interesting. I kind of like the 12th spot with okay, so it has my rank over here. Okay, so really cool thing, which I was able to. Okay, what's this 100% shit? 100%. What is that? Sorry, guys. I'm going to manage my draft extension. If you guys don't have the Spike Week Draft Hacker, I highly recommend it. It's phenomenal, and you can customize it. Let's see. Share ranks from your draft IQ. Show 780. Show my average ADP. Show projected ownership for specific tournament. Oh, okay. So I remember what I did. This first number is my ownership. This second number is the projected ownership for the tournament. So like this becomes more handy when we're like way down here, because like some of these guys like 0% ownership, projected ownership at least. So like maybe some of these guys I'm going to want to be taking. Let me actually touch up my my Spike Week Draft Hacker. I want to change the coloring on it. Show play for high ownership percent, ADP going up. We'll just do black. Oh, let's just go white. And that'll be the easiest to see. This will probably require me to refresh this, I think. Let's see. Let's take a check real quick. Let's take a look. Come on. Populate that shit. So Mathurin for MVP. You said you're 103, so Dread Pirate Roberts. That is your username. I'll keep a lookout for you whenever I'm drafting these best ball teams. R. Houston. Is R. Houston in the stream? Because I saw him in both my drafts yesterday. So would be pretty cool to get a little shout out from R. Houston in the chat. Because I noticed his name. That's the first one that popped up to me. But okay. let's check this out. Okay, I need to fix Bijan because I don't have rookies in here. It's going to screw up the rookie rankings a little bit because I just don't have I don't have a way to model them out right now. But I'll continue to work on that. I'll build that out. Oh shoot, that's right. Let me pull up my rankings. Okay. So there's a few ways we could play this. I am curious how I'm going to play this. Would have been nice if Eckler had fallen to us. But I think I'm going to want to go 2 wide receiver here. I think the one that I tried to get yesterday that I was not able to get. I'm not going to say it yes in case Sam Yuck 16 is on the stream. Hopefully he takes Bijan because I don't think I want Bijan in this specific team. I don't think I'm going to be able to get the exact team that I want. Go Bijan. Let's go. Okay. So we're going to go ahead, double tap Devontae Adams, Amon-Ra right here. I've been saying Devontae Adams is my I thought he was a fade initially at his current price, but I'm back in on Devontae Adams. It feels nice to get Devontae Adams and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown is our wide receiver 3 for this season, and I think he's going to be phenomenal. Devontae Adams, in my season-long projections, he's actually a little bit lower, so that might speak to him not performing, or sorry, him maybe picking up an injury just because he's a little bit older. His age might catch up to him. He's going to be 30 years old this season. So I'm not going to be super overweight on Devontae Adams, but I'll have a little bit, especially on this sort of build, being able to double tap Amon-Ra St. Brown and Devontae Adams, 2 top 5 wide receivers in the NFL, feels really good for our wide receiver room. And like I said, guys, we don't care about stacking. The only thing we care about is drafting good players on our team. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We start off our room with 2 of the best receivers in the NFL, and that feels really, really good to start our team like that. It's kind of nice having Samyuk right here because it looks like him and I are going to go opposite builds. So hopefully it lines up where when he switches to wide receiver, I'm switching to running back, and that value kind of falls to me. We'll see how the actual draft plays out, but it feels nice to be the only guy focusing on wide receiver here in that back end because we have wide receiver, RB wide receiver. So I'll focus on that over here. The Kelsey Mahomes thing, that's one thing I've really struggled to get behind. Like, yes, I know that they are like the premium top tier stack, but I don't know. It feels overdone. It feels like every single team that has Travis Kelce also has Patrick Mahomes, so you don't have any uniqueness there. If every single team does the exact same thing that way, what advantage do you have once you make the playoffs? I don't know. I don't see the allure to it, other than the fact you can say that you have Mahomes and Kelce. I mean, cool. Congratulations. Yeah, Mahomes in the second feels pretty pricey. So I don't have any Patrick Mahomes in the second. Whenever I've been grabbing Patrick Mahomes, I've been grabbing him in the third. I think I maybe have one draft with Mahomes, Kelce, but I only did it once and I hated that team, so I'm not doing it again. Steven said Wilson got upgraded with Rodgers. Yes, I guess. Like the QB play will definitely increase. It feels tough to draft him over like Amon-Ra or Devontae Adams when he's never produced at that level before. Amon-Ra has been a top 5 wide receiver in the NFL. We've seen that. He's done that. So I feel comfortable doing that. I feel he's done it over many, many games. He's done it over a large sample. We have data that backs the fact that Amon-Ra St. Brown can sustain elite production over an entire season. So that's why I like Amon-Ra. Devontae Adams, we've seen it over 8 years. So I don't really have to talk too much about Devontae Adams. Garrett Wilson, we just haven't seen it yet. So you're betting a lot on the potential rather than the proven production. I know maybe that's one way to do it, but I do all of my decision-making just purely based on data. I want the data, and if I don't see the data, then I'm not going to jump the gun on a particular player like that. So I like Garrett Wilson a lot. I'll probably have a little bit of Garrett Wilson, but I will not be overweight on him because the data does not fully support him quite yet. So I'll continue to take Amon-Ra over Garrett Wilson. I'll probably take Jalen Waddle over Garrett Wilson as well. Damn it. I wanted Josh Jacobs to fall to us. That would have been a really nice, really nice combo. Especially because Josh Jacobs is our RB1. But we don't get him. That's okay. We'll be able to get our RB2 a little bit later. Actually, our RB2 probably won't fall to us. Maybe we'll go for our RB4. ZeroXD says, by the time you get the data, he'll be a first-round pick. That's okay. Amon-Ra St. Brown and Devontae Adams will continue to be elite players. So I'll bet on the guys that I know for sure are going to be elite. And I'll let others take the gamble on Garrett Wilson. But, okay, it looks like Alexander Mattison, 3-8. That is just literally the worst pick in the draft. Like, that is ridiculous that Mattison is going at 3-8. I like that for me, though. That feels really nice. Wild stuff happening in these best ball streets with Alexander Mattison going in the third round. But, okay, we're about to be back on the clock. This is kind of an interesting spot to be in. Maybe we'll go Jameer because historically, first-round running backs produce right away, and getting him at the 3-4 turn feels about right for him. I could go Lamar here as well. Debo. It would feel pretty good to get Lamar on this team. I think I definitely want Jameer. Jameer is a for show. And getting Lamar, our quarterback 3, feels pretty good all the way back here at the 3-4 turn. So let's go ahead and take Lamar Jackson first. We'll take Lamar Jackson, and then I think we'll tap Jahmyr Gibbs here. Because Jahmyr Gibbs, I think, is an absolute stud. I love what the Lions are doing. So we'll go ahead and grab Jahmyr Gibbs as our RB1. So we have our 2 elite wide receivers, and then we grab our elite quarterback and then Mr. Jahmyr Gibbs as well. So we're just going to go back to the wide receiver one and just start hammering wide receivers at the rest of our picks because it looks like a bunch of running backs went off the board. So the wide receivers did get pushed down to us a little bit, but I think that gives us a little bit more leeway because we want to get our elite quarterback in Lamar Jackson, and that gives us more leeway in pushing the receivers a little bit further down the board, which I'm a fan of. I like how we're playing it here because typically this third round is just like littered with wide receivers. Usually a lot of more wide receivers go in this range. So the fact that some of these guys are getting pushed down the board a little bit, I like for the way our team is getting built out. Because it gives us flexibility because we already got our 2 elite guys in Amon-Ra and Devontae Adams. So hopefully it's not only wide receivers in the next two rounds, and we're able to get a few of our guys. Okay, I like the fact that all the quarterbacks are going right now because Lamar Jackson fell in ADP, and Joe Burrow, Justin Fields just went before ADP, so that feels good. So this feels really good. I'm really liking how this draft. I feel like we're playing this kind of perfectly at this point. Christian Kirk, great pick. Duke Dean is going to be a guy that we're probably going to be up against because he's got an elite wide receiver room in Diggs, Olave, Keenan Allen, and Christian Kirk. So we're going to have to build out our team kind of perfectly to go up against Duke Dean. Scaputo is also building it out pretty well with Cooper Kupp, Devonta Smith, DK Metcalf, and DeAndre Hopkins. So I think I need to do more of these builds where I just hammer wide receiver. I've been going a lot of like Lamar Jackson, Jahmyr Gibbs in this range just because I love their potential. Like Jahmyr Gibbs, I know I just told ZeroXD about the fact that I don't have the data, but I feel better taking that bet on a first-round pick that was that should get utilized pretty heavily in this offense. I feel better taking that in the 4th round rather than the 1st round. So those are my thoughts on that right there. But it looks like a lot of the wide receivers are going. I'm glad that not all of them are going, and there's still going to be some falling to us. There's definitely a few guys that I have my eye on. So we'll go ahead and take our shots on a few of them here. I think I know who I want, but we'll see. We'll see who falls to us. Terry, damn. I was praying maybe somehow Terry was going to make it back to us. I know there was almost 0% chance, but was hoping that there was maybe a 1% chance. Joe Mixon goes. Joe Mixon was our RB2. Maybe I could have taken him over Jameer, but I'm going to be getting plenty of Joe Mixon in the 4-5 range, the late 4th, 5th. So I'll have plenty of Joe Mixon. He didn't fit the way that this team is building out. Because like I said from our best ball data bowl submission, in terms of ADP value, you don't want to be making massive reaches. So like I will have plenty of drafts. Like I know the players that I like. I will have plenty of drafts where I'm grabbing Joe Mixon where I have that 0 ADP value. I won't be reaching super far down. But while there are a few teams down here that even have some pretty severe negative ADP value, they still scored a shit ton of points. So as long as you don't overdo it, as long as you're getting ADP value at one side and then maybe missing out on another, like you can ultimately end up around that 0 mark that you want to end up at. Help them. You're back in the stream. Yo, what's good? How you doing? Help them. Oh man, Brandon Ayuk got taken too. I really wanted Ayuk to fall to me. But okay. Few guys still here that I really like. We'll see who falls to us. Let's see. Xerox Diaz, how you feeling about the Dobbins holdout and Bateman cortisone shot? I feel that that's getting like, I don't know. I don't really have too many thoughts on it. I'm not drafting a ton of Dobbins. I like Dobbins this year. He's actually ranked pretty highly in my model. So I like Dobbins. But I'm not drafting a ton of him. I only have 6% of him at this point. The cortisone shot, that worries me. I'm not taking a ton of ton of Rashad Bateman just because I think he goes in a range that's a little bit too pricey for me. So I'm not taking too much of him. All right, I'm either going to go Dobbins or Michael Pittman here. Looks like Dobbins is ranked a little bit higher in my rankings. But maybe Dobbins ADP continues to fall. And I did say I needed to hammer the wide receiver. So we're going to go Michael Pittman here over J.K. Dobbins. Just because exactly what 0XD said, this Dobbins holdout talk, maybe that pushes Dobbins ADP down even more. I know he did fall a little bit. I guess 4 spots is not super big. But maybe that's going to push his ADP down even more where I could be getting him a little bit more in the 6th round. I need to be drafting more J.K. Dobbins. I really like J.K. Dobbins this year. But I needed my 4th wide receiver. Michael Pittman feels like a value right now just because the Colts drafted Anthony Richardson. And so the fact that I can get Michael Pittman as my 4th wide receiver after already grabbing an elite quarterback and an elite running back feels really, really good. 0XC says Godwin over Evans. I do not agree. My model doesn't say that, so I'm not going to go against the data. Mike Evans right here at wide receiver 14. Feels about right for him. Godwin right here at wide receiver 35. I do like Godwin. I think Godwin's a phenomenal player. But when there's that big of a discrepancy in the data, I'm not going to ignore that. Because I trust my model. I trust the data. So, okay. I'm liking the way that we're building our team. We have 4 elite wide receivers. That feels really good. We have Jameer, and then we're probably going to see, like, this is what I'm talking about Dobbins ADP. Dobbins ADP is probably going to continue to fall because of, like, exactly what 0XD was saying. People are going to get spooked about the Dobbins holdout talks. So he's already fallen 14 picks past ADP. Whoever gets him here is going to get an extreme value. Dead Pirate Roberts, Mr. 103 over there, Matherin for MVP in the chat. I suggest you go ahead and grab J.K. Dobbins. I guess you already have 3 running backs, so never mind. You don't want a 4th already. So whoever grabs him is going to get an extreme value. Congratulations to whoever that is. But okay, we're 12 picks away. It looks like a lot of the wide receivers are going in this range. I'm glad I took the Mike Evans, Michael Pittman stack right here. We took both big Mikes. There's 3 big Mikes. There's Mike Williams as well. But Mike Pittman, Mike Evans, feels good to get both of those 2. We'll see who comes around, but I'm glad that the running backs are going to continue to push down because I think we want to start turning our attention to those running backs. We'll see who falls to us because I don't love a lot of the guys that are in this range, but there's a few guys that I have my eye on. So we'll see. But let's turn the tunes back up. Let's jam out. Dread Pirates Robert says, I like Dobbins a lot. I like Dobbins a lot too. It's pretty incredible that he's fallen this far. Okay, he gets taken there at the 7-1. I think he's an extreme value there at 7-1. And it's just people are getting spooked. People get spooked about the things in the news all the time. All it is noise, man. The only thing I listen to is my data. I'm not going to listen to any noise or any of that. While everybody, the general public fades based off of narratives that gets put around in the media, I'm going to be taking advantage of these values that fall. So, hey, that's just how I do. Dalvin Cook gets taken. All right, so a good deal of these running backs are falling into this range for us. We'll see. We could tap Zay here because he's another one of those rookies. We could tap Zay. All right, the running back that's going a little bit of a run on running back here. So maybe we continue to push the running backs down the board because the running backs are there's another range of running backs that I also like. I don't need to be reaching on any of these guys down here. I don't want Pacheco. Dallas Goedert. I was considering taking Dallas Goedert if he fell to me, but he does not end up falling to me. I do not want Pacheco. He's pretty low in my rankings. I guess Connor's here also. I do like Connor because that offense should run through James Conner. We're on the clock. I think we'll probably go James Conner, Zay Flowers, just because we need another running back and we need another, and we can grab Zay Flowers just because we like having the first round wide receiver as our 5th wide receiver. That feels pretty good. The only other guys I would consider like Michael Thomas, Elijah Moore maybe. I don't want Rashad Bateman, but we'll get James Conner with our first pick. That feels good having James Conner as our RB2. That offense the linemen are excited because the report right now is they're going to run the ball a shit ton. But Zay Flowers feels pretty good here as well. So we'll go ahead and take Zay Flowers because he's that first round wide receiver. I know Rashad Bateman's a first-round wide receiver too, but just got that cortisone shot. Maybe that's just a narrative, and Rashad Bateman's going to smash ADP. But I like taking the guy who's a little bit fresher and someone that I really, really loved in film review. I think just thinking about it, like thinking about how Todd Monken runs his offense. Back at Georgia, Todd Monken's offense ran through the tight end. So it makes sense. The Ravens' offense is going to run through the tight end too. It's going to run completely through Mark Andrews. But who is the number 2 wide receiver on the Georgia offense? It was Ladd McConkey. Ladd McConkey was primarily a slot receiver. And so Zay Flowers, I expect to kind of play that role in that offense. So I'm hoping Zay Flowers soaks up a lot of those targets. And so he's my upside swing here. And coincidentally, he is stacked with Lamar Jackson. But again, stacking doesn't matter. So that wasn't my primary. I like Zay just as much as any of these other receivers. And I use that as a tiebreaker rather than saying, oh, I have to get Zay. No, it's the other way around. Zay falls into my lap, and so he was used as a tiebreaker between Zay or Michael Thomas. I like Zay. I like Michael Thomas. Zay is the one that stacks up with Lamar Jackson. That's the tiebreaker. Dread Pirate Robert says, fun fact, without Kyler Murray starting, James Conner's been the number 1 fantasy scoring running back. Hey, even better news for us, man. The rankings love James Conner. James Conner's here at RB16 for us. I just drafted him at RB28. So, or I guess, yeah, RB28. So that feels pretty good to get him at RB28. Feels like a value. So loving our draft so far. So for the audio listeners at home, we have Lamar Jackson at quarterback, Jahmyr Gibbs, James Conner at running back, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, Michael Pittman, Zay Flowers at wide receiver. No tight end thus far, but loving the way that our roster is building out right now. It feels pretty good. Feels pretty good. So we'll see how the room continues to shake out. Woo, let's go. I'm loving this team, guys. I'm loving this team. It feels pretty good to start our draft this way. Feels really good, actually. And so I'm going to continue drafting my teams in this fashion. Just draft good players, guys. That's the name of the game. That is the name of the game. Just draft good players. Stacking doesn't matter. Stop thinking about stacking as your number one priority. It's just draft good players. Draft good players. I mean, a lot of these guys, ADPs, have kind of fallen in the range where like you can stack up a guy. So Steven asks, can I have $10 when you win that mill, bro? Yes, you can have $10, Steven. So let's see. How are we gonna build this one out? If Anthony Richardson falls to 108, maybe we just say screw it and just tap Anthony Richardson. Because I have not been drafting much Anthony Richardson, but like when it feels right, like I can stack, I can have a Lamar Jackson, Anthony Richardson team. There's a ton of upside in that. Anthony Richardson's ADP probably also rises into like the what's it called? Probably like the 6, 7. Or no, I expect his ADP to end up by the beginning of the actual NFL season to be around the 7th round, around where Trey Lance went last year. That's my guess. No data there, just vibes. Just how it feels. Feels right. Feels right. Damn it! I want a Camaro to fall to me. This is why I don't like starting. Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, because look at those wide receivers. That wide receiver room is just like mid. Jerry Jeudy, Traylon Burks, Juju Smith-Schuster versus Amon-Ra St. Brown, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, Michael Pittman, Zay Flowers. Like, yeah, you probably shouldn't have taken Kamara or Houston. You probably should have taken another wide receiver. Probably like an Alan Lazard would have made your receiver room a little bit more solid there. If you can still get Alan Lazard, that's just kudos to you, though. Because I'm not taking Alan Lazard here. I have to pivot and go back to the running back well. So a few guys I like here. Two guys in particular that I like. I'm grabbing so many rookies. I didn't intend to grab this many rookies. Actually, you know what? Oh, he stole Gibson from me. That's crazy. Oh, Gibson was going to be our RB3. It was setting up perfectly. That sucks. Damn. I think since A-Rich is here, do we just say screw it and just draft A-Rich and just go Anthony Richardson, Lamar Jackson? There is another guy that I like, but I think just because of the potential, and I do have Michael Pittman on this team, it fits. And because I think Anthony Richardson is going to be a big riser, maybe just our two quarterbacks are Lamar Jackson and Anthony Richardson. I don't have too much A-Rich. All right, vibes. We're going off the vibes. Anthony Richardson pick there. I don't have any A.J. Dillon. I don't love A.J. Dillon here, ADP. I think I'd rather grab Rashad Penny for the upside play, and I do like Rashad Penny on a points per game basis this year. Actually, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go Zay Jones. I like Zay Jones a lot. He is one of the guys that – all right, wide receiver 6, Zay Jones. Because I feel pretty – I didn't love any of the running backs in this range, but I do love Zay Jones. Actually, maybe Jacoby Myers is the pick. Since I like Zay Jones, Jacoby Myers pretty similar amount. And Jacoby Myers does play on the same team as Devontae Adams. So maybe he was the pick, but I like Zay Jones here. It feels good as our wide receiver 6 to be Zay Jones. This is probably only going to be help him. Why are you doing that to me? Why are you like it seeing me getting sniped on Antonio Gibson? That's mean, man. You don't want me to get my guy? But all right, we're going to have to start hammering the running backs just because this is probably a 6 running back team. Maybe even 7 because we are passing. We did pass on some of these higher upside plays. So yeah, we'll see how we're able to build it out. There's a few guys that I like down here. This is definitely going to be at least 6 running backs. Sorry, Dread Pirate. I needed my Zay Jones. He gets taken way too late. He was. I just like this Jaguars offense as a whole. And it feels like they're all going a little bit too late. But feels good, man. Feels good. This team feels very, very strong. And like I said, stacking doesn't matter. I got Anthony Richardson 10 picks after ADP. And maybe he's able to do something. Maybe he's able to pop off some of those late weeks. I was planning on building our second quarterback out a little bit differently, but when Anthony Richardson falls 10 picks past ADP, screw it. Give me some Anthony Richardson. Last year, I was hammering Trey Lance. 7th, 10th round, 9th round, 8th round, 7th round, I was just drafting all the Trey Lance, and that obviously turned out very, very poorly for me. So those teams were all dead in the water. And clearly I haven't learned my lesson because I'm just drafting Anthony Richardson, but I just that rushing upside is just undeniable. Fantasy football, that's a cheat code. If we look at our quarterback model, actually sneak peek for you guys, we're going to look at the quarterback model real quick for you guys, just so you guys can see exactly how the model predicts certain players. So this is for tight ends. For quarterbacks, basically the way that the model decides, how many picks away are we? Or 11 picks away? Okay. The way that the model decides how players are going to finish out. Actually, we'll just go to the feature importance. Draft number. So the 5 most important features for a quarterback and predicting quarterbacks is draft number. So draft pick makes sense. Anthony Richardson drafted 4th overall. Phenomenal. Fantasy points per game from last year. We don't have that data, so that's moot at that point. Years experience. I know that's not great for Anthony Richardson, so that's going to work against him. But rushing attempts per game. Rushing attempts per game is the 4th most important variable. And that is an Anthony Richardson variable right there. The two variables that we have data for, rushing attempts per game and draft number, Anthony Richardson scores phenomenally on. So I like Anthony Richardson. Our quarterback R-square is at just under 50%. It feels good that we're able to explain 50% of the variance for quarterbacks with like very little multicollinearity. It feels good. It feels good. I feel confident in that model. But okay, going back to here, there's a few ways we can play this. There are a few guys that I do really like. McKinnon got sniped. Houston just sniping all of our guys. It makes sense that he takes McKinnon. He's going straight Kansas City, so we'll see how that ends up playing out for him. But we'll probably reach down the board a little bit. We like Kendre. We like Jalen Warren. We like Tank Bigsby. I like Alec Pierce, but he might not fit this team in particular. We like Roschon. We like Algier. We like Singletary. So, like, we'll see if any of these guys fall to us. We probably won't take Algier, Singletary, or Roschon at this pick just because they are so much further down the board. So we'll take one of Kendrick Miller, Jalen Warren, and Tank Bigsby, or 2 of them. Maybe we'll just take upside swings at the running backs and just go with both of the rookies. That would feel pretty good. Maybe because Jahmyr Gibbs is the week 9 bye, we don't take Tank Bigsby. We'll see though. I'm contemplating. I'm debating on going any which way with these, but we're gonna take 2 of these 3, and we'll just keep pushing the tight ends down the board because we're gonna go late round tight end with this specific build. So who's he gonna go? He gets Cole Kmet. I think since we're taking so many shots on Alvin Kamara, I think we go Kendra Miller here just because one of them might be dead, but one of them is going to be live. And Kendra Miller back here feels about right for how he should perform this year. So we'll go ahead and take Kendra Miller. And maybe because we went rookie there, we go Jalen Warren here because he's just a clear RB2 in that Pittsburgh offense and should get used a decent amount. He's used in the passing game, so we really like that. So let's go ahead and take Jalen Warren. I know we passed on Tank Bigsby. I don't have too much Tank Bigsby, but I'll be getting a little bit more of him just because that Jacksonville offense is going to be phenomenal this year. But yeah, we get 2 more running backs. We'll 2 more guys that we feel pretty good about. in Kendrick Miller and Jalen Warren. So we'll let all of these guys get pushed down the board even more. We don't need any of them. But it feels good. It feels good, man. But okay, we ended up hopping into another Best Ball Mania draft room because I want to give you guys the full draft experience where we are simultaneously drafting two teams. So we're going to do it. We're going to do it. We are at the 106 in this draft room. So we'll see how this one shakes out for us. Why isn't my – okay, there it is. We're 18 picks away here. We'll keep tabs. We're probably going to have to go more running backs. So we might go two more running backs on our next two picks. But it feels good because our next range of running backs should fall back to us. But here we go. Here we go. Kicking off this draft room, too. I don't think I recognize any of the names in here. But I had to do this one a little bit sneaky because I felt like somebody in here was sniping me. I don't know who, but I felt like somebody was. Antonio Gibson went a little bit too early in my draft. I am suspicious, folks. But Help Mass, did you get a chance to draft in the Golden yesterday? I did. And if you want to check out my team, go ahead and look at my Twitter at Joshua J. Hyun on Twitter. All right, maybe we just go Travis Kelce here because he's just ranked so high. We'll go ahead and take Travis Kelce. He's pretty high in our rankings. Gives us such a massive positional advantage at the tight end position. But it looks like we're 12 picks away on both boards. So we'll have to play this out strategically. But I like that I have the 6 here. We get Kelce. I know Kelce goes pretty early, but I don't think that there's any problem with it because he's just so elite. Kelce is just so elite. Yeah, help him. My Twitter is right on the screen. It's at Joshua J. Hyun. I posted my team in the Golden. So I can just show it. I'll show you guys what my team looks like. I guess it's easier viewed in Underdog. My Golden team looks exactly like this. It felt pretty good to get this team. But we have Justin Fields, Kenny Pickett at quarterback, Josh Jacobs, James Cook, Antonio Gibson, Rashad Penny, Jamal Williams at running back, Cooper Kupp, Jalen Waddle, DJ Moore, Mike Evans, George Pickens, Alec Pierce, DJ Chark, Chase Claypool at wide receiver, and Dawson Knox, Hayden Hurst, Noah Fant at tight end. Felt really good. That team felt really, really strong. So I'm happy with that sort of build in a single entry tournament. It felt really good. But damn, this is the Best Ball Mania draft, and CeeDee Lamb's fallen this far. That's crazy. Josh Allen 2-2. Oh my God. All right, this is a fun room to be in. Derrick Henry goes at the Jonathan Taylor. Derrick Henry go at the 1-2 turn. So I am happy I am in this draft room because it looks like value is falling, and I hope the value continues to fall because there are a few guys that we definitely want on our team. But we're 2 picks away in this room, and 3 picks away in this room. We're gonna have to play this kind of cute. We'll see who falls out to us. Oh, we're on the clock already. All right, we're gonna go Devin Singletary for sure. So give me some Devin Singletary as our RB5. And maybe for our 7th wide receiver, we just go DJ Chark. That feels pretty good too. Feels about the range that he should be going in as well. And I like DJ Chark this year. So let's go ahead and grab ourselves some DJ Chark in the 14th. Looks like we're about to be on the board. 2 guys that I definitely want. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and take Devontae Adams here as our wide receiver 1. Feels really good getting Devontae Adams here at 2-7 for the Devontae Adams, Travis Kelce. That feels really good. But yeah, I was deciding between Devontae or Saquon, but Devontae, just for the wide receiver advantage, feels really good, especially getting him 6 picks after ADP. So there might be a few Kelce, Saquon teams out there. I don't expect there to be too many Kelce Adams teams. And since Devontae Adams is our wide receiver 5, it feels pretty good to get him. Life ain't always about your name in the mouth and the cars and the clothes and the jewels. You meant for your ego to bruise. Okay, let's see. But it looks like all the wide receivers are starting to go. They got pushed down the board a little bit because of this back half of the draft. These guys are pretty crazy. Don't know what's going on back here, but I'm glad that I get to eat up the value as it falls past these 4 guys. Love having these 4 in our room. And then we'll see who falls back to us. This top of the moaning, top of the moaning, top of the moaning, top of the moaning, top of the moaning. Okay, come on. Let's see. Tyjae Spears. Okay, we definitely need 2 more running backs on this team, or maybe 1 more running back. We'll see who we're able to get. But this team feels pretty strong. This team feels very strong, actually. We might go ahead. All right, I think I have an idea for how I want to play that out. This feels pretty good. Let's see who A.S. Reynolds takes. Ramondre, Top Pearl, Daddy Flops, and Zach. Hopefully you guys don't take any of the 2 that I want. But if you do, that's okay. The way that we've already started this team feels really good. And then all of these guys back here are probably going to let the value fall again, and I'll go ahead and take who I want. So hopefully these guys keep going wide receiver. Go like DK Metcalf. That would feel pretty nice if you go DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf. Come on, Top Pearl. Mark Andrews, that's fine. Daddy Flops, DK Metcalf. You know you want to. DK Metcalf. Jalen Hurts. Damn it. Oh, I wanted Jalen Hurts. All right, Zach 789. DK Metcalf. Go ahead. Take your first wide receiver. Please. 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 Please, please, please. DK Metcalf, please. Go ahead and take your first wide receiver. Please. DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf. No, don't time out. Don't time out. Don't time out. Don't time out. No! Oh, it was setting up so perfectly for me. Oh, if we were going to get Josh Jacobs, that would have been perfect. Oh, my God. We'll go ahead and take Breece Hall, I guess. But, oh, my God. It almost set up perfectly for us. If we got Josh Jacobs on this team, that would have literally been perfect. Because it would have been Josh Jacobs, Devontae Adams. I know stacking doesn't matter, but Josh Jacobs is my RB1 by a pretty decent margin. So it would have been felt really good to get him. But okay, back to this draft. Looks like some guys are falling. Oh, Tyler Conklin goes early. That's crazy. Xerox asks, what's the model think of Taysom? The model does not think very highly of Taysom at all. So, yeah, there's that. Let's see. All right, we'll go ahead and take Sam Laporta since he's the top guy, and I like Sam Laporta. I think Sam Laporta is a great player, and I know he is a rookie tight end, but he's a high upside play that I don't mind taking a swing at, especially 15 picks past ADP, especially because Detroit needs to throw the ball to someone, and the fact that I have Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Sam Laporta feels really good. And then we probably go – we have 7 receivers already, right? This is the 16th, so then we have to – okay. All right, we're going to go Kenneth Gainwell for this pick because I like Kenneth Gainwell. I might grab one more running back as well. And maybe this is a 2-7-7-2 team. We'll see. Because I do want Lenny on this team. I'll see if I can bring that back. But we're about to come back up on the clock. If y'all let Lamar fall to me too, that would be insane, and I would just close my eyes and hit the button on Lamar. But these guys tend to make pretty wild picks. So, Najee Harris 3-9. All right, run for shelter ends up taking Lamar Jackson from me. That's okay though. We're probably going to want to go another wide receiver in this range. It looks like our favorite one out of this tier is Jerry Jeudy. So we could go Jerry Jeudy. Interesting. Xerox says 2 tight ends is way too thin. I mean, I'm punting the tight end position, so I don't really care about my scoring back there. My wide receivers will make up for it. Let's see. This is an interesting spot. I like Christian Kirk back here since Jerry Jeudy came off the board. I like Travis Etienne at pick 43 as well. I'm really curious how I'm going to build out this team. I didn't plan for it to go this way, but Etienne at 4.7 feels about right for where I should be taking him. Burrow goes. Yeah, you guys can keep taking those guys. Maybe we just reach on Mr. Mixon back here. ADP of 52.3. That would be all right. Maybe we can hope for him at 54 because I think I need my wide receiver 2 right here. We'll go ahead. We could take either Christian Kirk, DJ Moore, Terry. I think since I have the lowest exposure to DJ Moore, maybe we'll take DJ Moore here, and that opens us up to Justin Fields in the 5th round if it falls to us that way. And I have been speaking pretty highly of DJ Moore of recent. And I just love DJ Moore. I think DJ Moore is a phenomenal player. I think the model is a little bit too low on him as well. Chandler, yo, what's up, my man? How you doing? How you doing today, Chandler? So it feels good getting DJ Moore there as our wide receiver 2 on this team. But okay, back to this team. Mr. ZeroXD thinks that taking 2 tight ends is too thin. But hey, on this sort of build, maybe it works out for us. We'll see though. There's a few which ways we can go about this. We could go. So I definitely do want Lenny, but I also want Hayden, McBride, Likely. I think all of them work pretty well for us. And Jake Ferguson. I think Jake Ferguson works pretty well for us too. And like I always say, draft good players. Draft good players. Draft good players. I think Leonard Fournette's a great player. Leonard Fournette gets taken, so they prevent me from doing what I truly wanted to do. But we're going to go Hayden Hurst, and we're going to go Isaiah Likely or Trey McBride. I guess since I have Lamar Jackson, we'll use the tiebreaker like I always say we want to do. We'll take Isaiah Likely. And that's going to close out our team, guys. Our team, for the audio listeners at home, Lamar Jackson, Anthony Rich. Oh, shit. I'm on the clock over here. So 1 second. I will go over my team in a second. Oh, Joe Mixon falls right to us. Feels nice to grab Joe Mixon here in the 5th round. I will continue to draft more Joe Mixon. So feels good to get our RB2 as Joe Mixon, especially since we have him as RB2 in our model. So our running backs, Breece Hall, Joe Mixon, that is phenomenal. Wide receivers, Devontae Adams, DJ Moore, tight end Travis Kelce. That feels good. But I'll go back to this team. Our quarterbacks are Lamar Jackson, Anthony Richardson. Our running backs are Jahmyr Gibbs, James Conner, Kendre Miller, Jalen Warren, Devin Singletary, Kenneth Gainwell. Our wide receivers are Amon-Ra St. Brown, Devontae Adams, Mike Evans, Michael Pittman, Zay Flowers, Zay Jones, DJ Chark. And our tight ends are Sam Laporta, Hayden Hurst, and Isaiah Likely. Feels pretty good, man. The team feels very, very strong. This team over here, we got Breece Hall, Joe Mixon, Devontae Adams, DJ Moore, Travis Kelce. This feels pretty good. Can't believe Joe Mixon was able to fall to me. Xerox says, what do you think of the people tied in the 4 tight end builds? I think if you punt your tight end position completely to the last 4 rounds, I think that it's viable. It's not what I prefer, though. I don't have any 4 tight end teams yet. Notice how I said yet. Maybe I sprinkle 1 4 tight end team in. But it's not my preferred build, that's for sure. But felt pretty good to get Joe Mixon, especially since we have Joe Mixon as our RB2 in the model. Projected the same points per game pretty much as CMC. So crazy that I can get the guy who's projected to score, my model projects to score same points per game as CMC all the way in the 5th round, and CMC goes top 4 typically. So wow. Looks like some of the receivers that we like are falling in this draft as well. So I mean, I'll just keep drafting them. If they keep falling to me, I'll just keep drafting them. But hopefully, I think we're on the front end. Yeah. We're on the back end. So okay, these are my best friends back here. These are my best friends because these guys keep taking players that you typically should not be taking. All right, there's the Alexander Madison pick. Luckily, Alexander Madison didn't go 3-8 like he did in our last draft. So I like being in these drafts. I like the value that we're getting falling to us. But it looks like I'm going a little bit just like Wide receiver, running back. Wide receiver, running back. Just I'm drafting the best players. Drafting the best players available to me. Everybody move. Yeah. We'll see who falls. If I can get Mr. Pittman to fall to us, that would be wild. Pittman would fall precipitously past ADP. 10 picks. That's wild. Give me Michael Pittman or Mike Evans. They're both here for us. Mike Evans is slightly higher in our rankings. Slightly higher. But Pittman has fallen way past ADP. A little bit of correlation between Pittman and Devontae Adams. And I've been drafting a ton of Mike Evans recently, and I don't have much Michael Pittman. So we'll go ahead and take Michael Pittman here. Just to balance our exposures. That's something that I'm very cognizant of. I only have 4% Michael Pittman. But if Michael Pittman is going to be here in the 6th round, I will take Michael Pittman as our wide receiver 3. Our wide receiver room still feels pretty good with Devontae Adams, DJ Moore, Michael Pittman. And we'll continue to add some of these guys. We're going to need to just hammer wide receivers now. Looks like we're going to kind of ignore the quarterback position and wait for we're going to go with a late quarterback build. I haven't done one yet ever since we've gone with this stacking doesn't matter sort of idea. But looks like it's going to work out for us in this particular draft room. Everybody fuck that. Mike Evans goes off the board. But okay, we're it's about to come back up to us. There's a few guys that we like in this range. Damn, I was gonna say Addison. I like Addison here. There are a few more that I like in this range. Definitely need to go wide receiver though, because the running backs available to us later are still going to be pretty nice, but the wide receivers going to be available to us are all pretty garbo. So yeah, we're just going to have to avoid some of these traps, these ADP traps. I see some of them, but because guys, this is the 3 wide receiver start 3 wide receiver tournament. You need a lot of wide receivers. You need a lot of them. Yeah, I am completely avoiding Tony. Ooh, David Montgomery. That's a smart pick. 12 picks ahead of ADP, but it works. As the RB2, it works. Glad that Tony's off the board. Did not want any Tony. But I think with the way that we want to build our team out, Pickens and Gabe, where are they? Gabe is right here. Pickens is right here. They're projected essentially the same points. And Pickens got taken. Okay, so it didn't work out in any way for us. But we'll go ahead and take Gabe as our wide receiver 4. Feels pretty good to get Gabe Davis as our wide receiver 4 right at ADP. I know we don't have Josh Allen on this team, but I expect Gabe Davis to have some spike weeks here or there. And he should be pretty good just from a volume perspective and just from he's going to score touchdowns. He's a touchdown machine. So give me Gabe Davis. Give me Gabe Davis at ADP. Feels good. He was going in the 3rd round last year. In fact, we can get him in the 7th round now. Feels phenomenal. Feels phenomenal. But okay, this is a pretty interesting spot at this point. I need to run to the bathroom real quick. I'll be right back, y'all. I'll turn the music up for y'all so you have some something to jam out to. Let me make it feel alright. Let me make you feel alright. Mama, let's go. Let me make shine in the nighttime. Smack the booty up at the right time. Baby, live it up. Okay, Let's see what we're working with here. There's a few guys that definitely catch my eye. 118. So we're gonna have to start focusing. Okay. Looks like in this range, Dalvin and James Cook are the best picks. Alvin Kamara is definitely the best pick at this point. As our RB3, maybe we just go for that. And then at 102, we could tap. Ooh, okay. There's a few interesting things we can do here. Pick 91. Dalvin has fallen so far. Where's Dalvin in our rankings? RB 21. RB 21. All right, we're gonna see if it'll work out for us. Let's go ahead and get Dalvin Cook here at pick 91, because the model still has Dalvin at RB 21. That feels pretty good. And Dalvin Cook is going to get signed somewhere. We're going to use that little bit of the market overreacting. The fact that I can get Dalvin Cook as RB 28 and we project him as RB 21, grab Dalvin Cook as our RB 3. That feels pretty good. There's no like legal risk around him like Kamara is, even though I do have Kamara ranked very, very high. I have Kamara ranked as RB 7. So at our next pick, if Kamara falls to us, we're going to take a little Kamara. And I know I've kind of been neglecting the wide receiver position slightly, but all of our advantage in this room is in Travis Kelce. So we'll continue. We'll just like lean into that even more, and then the way that we'll fill out our wide receiver room is just purely based off volume. Like Kamara gets taken from us. We'll see though. There's a few ways we could play this. Yeah, we don't even like look at the tight end position. All right, James Cook gets taken. He was going to be our other pick. Maybe I just tap my first quarterback here and take my rankings quarterback 5, Mr. Danny Dimes, just to make sure that I don't miss on him, and then I can focus on like at 115 getting our other guy. So because we got ADP value on Dalvin Cook, we could pass that up and get Mr. Daniel Jones, because Daniel Jones should be pretty good this year. He has, I don't know why Daniel Jones just kind of gets ignored from like a rushing perspective, because Daniel Jones is a phenomenal rusher of the football. Daniel Jones, I know he only put up 15 passing touchdowns last year, but his rush stats, he was QB 8 last year, QB 9. Where's his rushing stats? Last year, Daniel Jones had 120. So Brian Daboll just knows how to use Daniel Jones. 120 rush attempts, 700 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns. Expect those numbers to kind of be about what they were last year. And the fact that I can get him all the way here in the 9th round as my first quarterback feels pretty good. And because we have passed on the quarterback position, I think I know exactly who I want my other quarterback to be. And I'll build my team out that way. But we end up getting our first quarterback here in the 9th round. We got Breece Hall, Joe Mixon, Dalvin Cook at running back, Devontae Adams, DJ Moore, Michael Pittman, Gabe Davis at wide receiver, Travis Kelce at tight end. So I think I definitely need to grab more wide receivers, and there's a few guys I have my eye on who I will definitely be taking on this team. Yeah, and Tony Gibson gets taken from us. That's all right. We already have our 3 pretty solid running backs here. So I feel good about my running back room, and I don't need to be reaching on any of the running backs at this point. Not this room, go ahead. But Dak Prescott is falling. Hopefully just one of these guys goes ahead and takes Dak. Egghead, I think you need Dak Prescott. I think you need some Dak in your life. But our roster just feels so good. I definitely need more wide receivers, but we're playing a volume game there. We'll probably have 8 wide receivers on this team. You have to be cognizant of how you're going to build out your roster, so that you can find the pockets of value and draft the right players. Draft good players, guys. That's what's on the thumbnail. That's what I've been tweeting out on my Twitter. Draft good players. Draft good players. Draft good players. Just what you got to do. Just draft good players. I know. So like right here at our next pick, it's going to be like, oh, Jacoby Myers is stacked up with him. But another guy is available who I like a lot, and that is Mr. Zay Jones. So we're going to go ahead and draft Mr. Zay Jones here. I know Pat Freiermuth is ranked like 30, but we already have our elite tight end, so we're gonna pass on Pat Freiermuth, who is, by the way, our breakout tight end this year. But we're gonna go ahead and grab Zay Jones because Zay Jones is just a phenomenal player, just such a good player. And he broke out last year, finally in his 5th year. And I expect him to be pretty good this next coming season because I think this Jacksonville offense is just going to be phenomenal. Yeah, the Jacksonville offense is going to be really good this year. Trevor Lawrence should be pretty freaking good. We have him ranked out as QB9. Feels about right, but it just spoiled who my next guy that I'm going to target is probably by showing you guys that. So if anyone's in the stream, you guys have an opportunity to snipe me. Hopefully you don't, but there's one particular guy that I definitely want because I am going with a little bit more of a late quarterback build. But we're definitely going to take more wide receivers in this range because there are a few guys who have some value, especially down here. But I mean, if Freiermuth falls 20 picks past ADP, I would probably just hit Freiermuth as our second tight end. Okay, Freiermuth gets taken. There you go. It's good value there. Let's make sure that he's not okay. He went 3 elite quarterback, so he's already out of it. He's out of the race. I appreciate you, Mr. DePeltz. I appreciate you. Thank you for your donation. Thank you for your donation. Only has Tony Pollard at running back. I appreciate the donation from you to Pelt. But see, stacking doesn't matter. I have one guy on every single. I don't have a single player that is on the same team as another player. Stacking doesn't matter. I'm telling you guys. Jacoby Myers, I wanted you to fall back to me. That sucks. That sucks a lot. But okay. We could go wide receiver, could go running back. Rashad Penny has fallen a little bit. So we could go Rashad Penny. Jerick McKinnon's fallen, but we could go Jerick McKinnon. Jamal Williams has fallen. We could go Jamal Williams. We're on the clock. I wanted Jacoby Myers. That would have felt really good getting Jacoby Myers. Because I can't wait much longer. I think we'll probably go Jerick McKinnon just because he's the highest ranked out of all of our guys. I like Rashad Penny and Jamal Williams as well. Yeah, I guess we'll go Jerick McKinnon. We're about a timeout, so it looks like we're going Jerick McKinnon, so that's fine. Jerick McKinnon's at ADP as our 4th running back. He has a lot of touchdown upside. I think the only other guy I was considering was Rashad Penny. But like here, this is one of those points where you can use stacking as a tiebreaker. I do have Travis Kelce, so Jerick McKinnon makes sense as a tiebreaker, but that's all it is. It's a tiebreaker. But okay, we're definitely going to need to go more wide receivers. We're going to ignore running back now since we grabbed our 4th guy. And like all these wide receivers here are pretty solid. We could look at Thielen, could look at Alec Pierce. Oops, not Cole Kmet, Alec Pierce. Let's see. Could look at Rondale if he continues to slide. KJ Osborne, DJ Chark, both solid. Hyatt intrigues me as well. We like DPJ. We like Marvin Mims. We're just going to have to hammer these wide receivers, though, because there's definitely value in drafting some of these guys. We definitely want Claypool. Claypool late is like a key on our team. He's key to the success of this roster. Pierre Strong, Josh Palmer, all guys that we definitely want to look at. Josh Palmer. I saw some clips of Paris Campbell going ham, so maybe Paris Campbell fits the build. Richie James fits it. But yeah, that's what we're looking at here. I'm liking it, guys. I'm liking it a lot. I'm liking the way that our team is slowly forming out for us. There's not really anyone else back here, right? Foster Moreau is an interesting one. Maybe I'll have a little bit of Foster Moreau. Adam Thielen looks like the top guy. Alec Pierce actually is our top guy. We'll go ahead and continue our Indianapolis bet. We'll grab Alec Pierce here. It's not even the fact that he is stacked with Michael Pittman. It's just like he's our highest ranked player. Second-year player who's kind of broke out in his rookie year, and everyone's just kind of ignoring it and just pushing him all the way down. So I'll take him 5 picks over ADP. Like, that's fine as our 6th wide receiver. Alec Pierce is going to be good this year. He's a good player, and he's just getting ignored because Anthony Richardson's the quarterback. Okay, that's the assumption. Anthony Richardson's a bad passer of the football. What if he's a good passer of the football? What happens then? So that's why I tried finding the pockets of like arbitrage where it's like, oh, okay, maybe he's getting drafted a little bit too late. Maybe he's getting ignored, and he shouldn't be. So that's the narrative we're going with. And then as it falls out to us, we'll probably want to go Chark if it falls correctly. Probably Chark. Feels good though. Feels good. I'm liking this team that we're building out. It feels strong. It feels very strong, and we're gonna go 8 wide receivers for show. So we'll see, guys. We'll see what we can work with. Claypool is at what pick? What 189? Jesus Christ, that is crazy. All right, we'll go ahead and take DJ Chark. Feels good to get DJ Chark here. It's a bet on Bryce Young. I love Bryce Young. I've been taking a little bit of Thielen, but I think I should be taking more Chark because Chark is a little bit more of that deep threat, and Bryce Young throws a phenomenal deep ball. So if we're gonna have DJ Chark in any format, it should be best ball because he should see some spike weeks here and there. So it feels good to get Mr. Chark. It feels very good to get Mr. Chark. You guys can all take the tight ends because I'm not drafting tight end. Because I already have Mr. Travis Kelce. So feels good. Find me. I don't want to spend time fighting. I need a one dance. One more time I go. But okay. We're about to be back on the clock here pretty soon. But it looks like the guys that we want to fall are falling to us. We have 7 wide receivers. This is definitely an 8 wide receiver build. Definitely an 8 wide receiver build. Maybe it's even 9. I mean, I definitely need another quarterback. I know who I want though. So hopefully it falls to us exactly the way we want it to. I think the way that this is falling, we might go for the quarterback first. 2 1 1 2 3 3 2 1 1 2. Okay, I think just because there's no point in risking it because we're going with the late quarterback build, we should take the quarterback before the wide receiver because I'm okay with any 3 of these wide receivers. I think we should go for the quarterback first. So yeah, that's how we'll play this. And there's one particular guy. Thank God. I thought that was there for a second. Okay, we're going to take Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett is our model's breakout quarterback of the year. He's quarterback 10 in our model. I don't actually think he's going to outperform Justin Herbert. That seems pretty wild to me. But I do really like Kenny Pickett as a breakout player this year. So Kenny Pickett, 14-7, feels good. Okay. So my boy over at Fair Analytics just texted me. Looks like I'm going on Shark Tank. So we just pitched our analytics company at the Fantasy Sports and Gaming Association last week in front of like 300 people. So that was really cool. I'll probably post a video on that relatively soon. But looks like we're going on Shark Tank now to pitch our company in front of the Shark Tank investors. So we'll see. But okay. That was an aside. Back to our draft. Our team is looking phenomenal. So I'm going to try to grab. I need to be grabbing more George Pickens. That's why I was hoping Pickens to fall, and I would have taken him instead of Gabe Davis, so I could stack him up with Kenny Pickett. But that's okay. We'll go. I'm going to continue with the narrative. Kenny Pickett, 2 rushing touchdowns, Week 17 against Seattle. That'd be pretty funny. That'd be pretty cool. Jalen Hyatt got taken. That sucks. Looks like we're not going to have any. We're going with the rushing upside with Daniel Jones, Kenny Pickett. Maybe we'll just go triple rushing upside and go a 3 quarterback, like a 3-5-8-2. 3-5-8-2. Kyler got taken. Damn it. Okay, so we're not going to touch quarterback at this junction. Running back probably should be the pick here. Running back feels about right at this point. Maybe Wandale too. We'll see. Jeff Wilson fits the build. Pick 174, 187. I think we're just going to go ahead and take Claypool just to lock him up. Just because all the running backs after it feels like a pretty flat tier. But Chase Claypool just completely pops out as like a must-have wide receiver, especially since we let the wide receivers fall in this draft a little bit. And there are running backs much later on that should be available to us that offer similar upside to a guy like Donta Foreman. So we'll go ahead and take Chase Claypool as our 8th wide receiver. And we're probably done with the wide receiver position. Maybe the only other guy we could look at is like Paris Campbell, Richie James. We could look at like as our last round pick. But I think for sure we're going to want to look back at running back. So we'll look at Wilson, Gainwell as 2 guys. We definitely need to go running back with our next pick. Lenny. For show. And then maybe we could look at who's the backup tight end for the. Maybe this is like a. No, we don't all look Musgrave. Don't know how that happened. Whoops. Clyde is an interesting one. Have you tried an Andrew? Alex Keaton says so. This funny chat interaction I just noticed. Steven said, "Did you ever try an Andrew Jackson build yet?" See that Andrew Jackson passed away in AZ45 is probably in the underdog player list. Andrew Jackson was a savage. If you guys don't know the story of our president, Andrew Jackson, please look it up. He was my U.S. history's favorite president of all time just because this dude was just a beast of a man. So if you don't know the story of Andrew Jackson, go ahead and look that up. But I think what Steven meant was an Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson build, and I have not tried that out. I do want to try to get a Lamar Jackson, Mark Andrews build. I have not gotten the opportunity to build it that way yet, but yeah, maybe we go Foreman because he's just fallen way past ADP, and running backs can be very, very volatile. And we don't maybe Foreman is the guy in that room. Maybe he ends up taking stuff from Khalil Herbert. I like taking that as a flyer bet down here. 20 picks past ADP feels about right to take Donta Foreman. And I still think Dalvin Cook is signing in Miami, so I don't want to take the Jeff Wilson pick right here. I think it would feel weird to take both Dalvin Cook and Jeff Wilson. So we'll take Donta Foreman just to a little bit of stacking with DJ. Oh, I didn't even realize I have the DJ Moore Chase Claypool connection. It would feel better if I had Justin Fields in this team, but I think it's okay. But it looks like it's going to go – maybe this just ends up being a 2 quarterback build with Daniel Jones and Kenny Pickett. Doesn't feel the best, but doesn't feel bad either. Because I like both of them just in terms of security. Those 2 guys are going to be guys the whole year. So maybe we just go one more running back and then one more tight end. It's a 2-6-8-2 build. I would probably feel a little bit better with 3 quarterbacks. Maybe with like another rushing quarterback like a Ritter, or like a Sam Howell, just some guys who have rushing upside. We could look at Hayden Hurst at tight end. Isaiah Likely is one that I definitely like. Jake Ferguson as our second tight end. Noah Fant. Jelani, Hunter Henry. Two other guys that I like. But I think for show, the pick here is, I won't say it just in case anybody is watching the stream while they're drafting. Daddy Flops, who are you going to take? Don't take my guy, please. Don't take Trey Lance, Daddy Flops. Don't take Zach 79. Don't take Trey Lance. Are you on the stream? Xerox said if they were gonna he takes Trey Lance. Maybe he's on the stream. If they were gonna sign Dalvin, they have traded for him so they can get rid of one of them. Why? No, if you trade for Dalvin, you have to also take on his contract. You have to remember that. So they're trying to restructure his contract. It doesn't make. I don't think it made any sense to trade for Dalvin Cook. Like, it's making the Vikings cut him is optimal for any team trying to sign Dalvin Cook, because yes, we get Leonard. Because if Dalvin Cook gets cut, then you can literally do whatever you want in terms of a contract for him. Do we go one tight end build and go with a third quarterback? What do you guys think? What do you guys think of a one tight end build with just Travis Kelce? And just take the 0 in the week 10 bye. Because like other teams are probably only putting up small numbers at the tight end position anyways. So do we go one tight end build and just go more quarterback power since late round quarterback? What did the analysis say about one tight end builds with an elite tight end? I guess we didn't really, yeah. 2-6-9-1. Maybe this is a Kelce. Not too far below playoff expectation. And because I know my team is beastly. 4-5-8-1. Okay, the more quarterback. Okay, you know what? I think I'm gonna go with another quarterback here. Instead of taking my second tight end, I'm just gonna bet on the quarterback position. We're gonna go either Desmond Ridder or Sam Howell. One tight end build, guys. I think the only guy you can do this with is Travis Kelce, but I have Travis Kelce. So one tight end. Bug it. Let's go. Ooh, maybe we could go Jimmy G. I don't have any Jimmy G yet. Stacking him with Devontae. I have some Las Vegas, Indianapolis game stack out. You know what? I have some Atlanta, Chicago too. So we're going to go either Desmond Ridder or Jimmy Garoppolo. Ritter's the bring back against Chase Claypool, DJ Moore. Jimmy's the straight stack with Devontae Adams. Ridder gets taken, so I think we go Jimmy G. Just straight stack with Devontae Adams and have the Michael Pittman, Alec Pierce bringbacks. Chicago. Yeah, I don't have any San Francisco guys, so Sam Howell makes no sense. All right, Jimmy Garoppolo, come on down. That's my first share of Jimmy Garoppolo, but Alex says one tight end is a great if you need to differentiate in the playoffs. Kelce hits, it's chalky in the playoffs. I don't think there's another team that's built out this way. with Kelce, though. So, I mean, just the first differentiator I have, I don't know how many Kelce, Devontae Adams there's going to be. And I definitely don't know how many Kelce, Devontae Adams, Jimmy Garoppolo there's going to be. Steven says, no, Jimmy sucks. I mean, it's my 18th rounder. And I think Jimmy Garoppolo plays. He has a massive contract. And I think it's all noise, honestly. I think Las Vegas is an underrated team this year. So we'll see. It's unique, to say the least. So I think that's going to do it for us, guys. I'm a big fan of this team. I think this team has phenomenal potential. And it's my first 3-6-8-1 build. But thank you all for joining me on the stream today. It's been a lot of fun. Hope you guys were able to pull out a lot of insights, a lot of actionable insights from my draft streams. I'm going to continue to do this every Monday through Friday through the entire Best Ball Mania season every Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. right here on the Undroppables YouTube. I've been your gracious host, Josh Lee. You can follow me on Twitter at Joshua J. Hyun. Please go ahead and subscribe to the Undroppables YouTube. Subscribe to us on Twitter. It helps us out a lot. But thank you all for being here. Steven says, you said stacking don't matter. Should have taken Sam Howell. Yeah, I guess. I mean, 18th round. Screw it. We're going uniqueness. But thank you all for joining me on the stream. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Peace.